After Christmas Star is a pretty interesting Christmas film. Certainly, I enjoyed watching it, although it's not the most festive. It's definitely not a film I'd recommend if you're trying to get into the Christmas spirit. But it's still enjoyable, if not perfect. It was released in 2013, directed by John Bradshaw, written by Rickie Castaneda, and stars Shannon Elizabeth as Nikki and Steve Byers as Chris. And it's a bit peculiar how the love interests meet. It is kind of a stereotypical Hallmark film in the respect that there's a male and a female, both are single. Will they be together by the end? Of course, there are complications getting in the way of things. But it's a little bit more fantastical than that, because Chris is a single father to Sophie and Jackson, and one day Sophie discovers that her favourite singer, Nikki, was actually her father's high school sweetheart, and one thing led to another. The relationship didn't work out. And in the next town, Nikki is actually doing a CD signing. So Sophie and Jackson, both of whom are children at this point, go off to the CD signing to try and get Nikki to reunite with their father. It seems a little far-fetched and a little unrealistic, but for all I know, it could be based on a true story. But once Nikki and Chris meet again, they realise that there's a potential for that old flame to be reignited. But with Nikki being quite famous now, Chris doesn't really want to be in the spotlight, and he certainly doesn't want his children to be in the spotlight. Will they be able to work out these issues and be together by the end, or are they not destined to be together at all? I apologise if you heard that car horn blasting outside my window. It's a Hallmark film. It's predictable, but it's still quite interesting. I particularly enjoyed watching Chris's realistic responses to when the press are hounding Nikki, and then when they turn and begin to hound on him as this mysterious man from Nikki's past. And certainly when he has his young children to consider, it does make it quite a dilemma, because I couldn't quite see how he was going to resolve this situation, or what Nikki would have to do to play her part. So although it's relatively predictable, there were a few things along the way that I wasn't certain about, which is always nice, because if it keeps me guessing until the end, I'm going to be kind of engaged. As I said, it's not the most Christmassy. This could, in theory, be set at any time of the year, but there's a little bit in there that if you are looking for a Christmas film, then I would say that it's a reasonable one to watch. Not my favourite Hallmark film at all, and the characters, I didn't dislike the characters, but I can't really say there was a character in this who I particularly liked. Well, actually, that's not true. I did actually really like Sophie, the young girl played by Julia Lalonde. I really enjoyed her performance, and Breitkopf, who plays Jackson as well, absolutely adorable. It wasn't bad. Not the best film I've ever seen, certainly not the best Hallmark film I've ever seen. Still worth a watch.